Welcome, dear one. I've been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Hello, my loves. If you guys can start double tapping that screen, let me know where you're watching from, how you're feeling. Once we get to about 10 people on, I will do my little spiel and we can start doing readings. Texas, that's where I am. Did you see the video today of the Rio Grande Valley? They got like a foot of rain. There was like full cars underwater. It was crazy. Indiana. Welcome in. Oh, we got to that number quick today. All right. New York. New York. Okay, so I am Johanna Burkhardt. For those of you who are new to me, I am a multidimensional channel, teacher, healer, and self-help author. And my mission is to help you be the change you want to see so that you can create the reality that you are desiring. And we do that through teaching you and helping you shift your frequency. There's lots of ways that we do this, and I can help you in session, in private mentorship. I have digital courses, and I have a very large YouTube channel full of masterclasses and meditations and transmissions. Today, and when I come here live, I do a little bit more traditional reads, as you see other people on here doing. So I will be offering one free yes or no per person, if I'm guided to you. So if I read your question and I don't hear a yes or a no in my clairaudience, I am not going to answer it. It means that it may not be helpful for you to know the answer. There may be things that are not decided yet, so that potential isn't clear for a yes or no. So it's not that I'm ignoring you, but if you post your question a ton of times, I will remove you from the live stream, because it's never that I'm ignoring you, but incessantly posting the same question drives me insane, just so you know. If you want a mini read from your guides, where you ask a question and then I will see what else wants to come through that you need to know, that is a minimum $15 donation. And you can go to the link in my bio and go into the tip jar, and you can select whatever payment, Cash App, Venmo, those are the ones I prefer, but there's also PayPal. Make sure your payment method has your first and last name, and let me know if you donate and where you donated so that I can prioritize you, okay? All right. Also, if you're asking me about how someone else thinks, feels, or what they want, I'm not going to answer those either, because I don't have permission to access their energy field, and I'm not going to do anything out of integrity. Carla, I heard no very loud. Panos, yes. Kevin, I actually feel like you're going to get multiple. Jamie, it's a potential. I think in the long run, you're better off not reconciling. Angel, will Dennis and I fix our marriage? Honestly, as soon as I read that question, I just feel exhausted. So I think you guys have exhausted your time together. I think it's done. Will Hercules win tomorrow's football game? Yes. Jessica, will I have my own place by May? I definitely know you're going to get your own place. I'm not sure if it's going to be by May. Please don't ask your question more than one time. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You're so sweet. Stacy, I don't get a yes or no for that. I am not, it says right here, no medical pregnancy is a medical question. Learn how to sit. Michelle, will I find love soon? Towards the end of the year, you're going to meet somebody? Jennifer, will my conversation with Dimitri go well? Yeah, I think so. It feels good. I will not answer pregnancy questions, guys. Sorry. Thank you for the gifts. Andrea, well, is it over with Steven? Yes. If you're asking me what someone else thinks or feels or knows, I'm not going to answer that because I don't have permission to read them. Casey, is moving a good choice for me? Yes. Will I get a better paying job this year? Yes, it feels like sometime over the summer. Is Thanner going to end up coming back? I'm hurting. No, you just got to love yourself through it, honey. Will I find a better job? Yes. Thank you for the gifts. Will my back heal? Yes. Have you thought of using magnetic therapy? I think that might be a good option for you. Will Richard and I reconcile? No. Greetings. Haven't seen you in a while. Philip, yes. I am not answering pregnancy questions. Will I get a better job soon? Yes. You need to look outside of what you're normally looking for. Nicole. Or not Nicole, Alicia. Too many people on here. If I'm not answering your question, it's because I don't hear a yes or a no. So it's either not going to be helpful for you to know, or there's things that are not decided yet. Will I visit Tony? If you want to. Haley, will I be approved for an apartment next few weeks? Yes. Judy, I feel like your dog is in a pound or some kind of shelter. Is he chipped? Call around your shelters. Brenda, yes. Once again, if I don't answer your question, I don't hear a yes or a no, so please don't post it a bunch of times. I promise you I'm not ignoring you. And if you guys have general questions about the healing journey, the energy that we're currently in, because, you know, tomorrow morning is the eclipse, which is super powerful, super potent energy. And then we have Neptune going into Aries, which hasn't happened since the 1800s, and when we had like the American Revolution. So we got some crazy energy going on right now. Jesse, will me and Douglas get married? Yes. Chris, yes. Melissa, yes. It is my signature look, my maroon and pink eyeshadow. I just got out of the shower. I gotta let my, you know how we hear when guys think it's a joke when we say I can't go out, I have to wash my hair. I have so much hair, y'all. It takes me half a day. So I had to oil it, and then I washed it, and now it's got to air dry for a couple of hours until it's almost dry, and then I blow it out. It is such a process. It literally takes me half a day to wash my hair. So, and I have a date tonight, so I'm not going to put my makeup on until a little bit later. But those colors really have become my signature. I really do love them. It's my favorite palette. It's linked, that palette is linked in my bio, or in my Amazon store, by the way, if anybody wants it. Ruby, will I reconcile with James this year? No. I do feel like you have someone new coming in, though, so I think it's going to work out for you in the long run. That's a good question. So she's asking, what is it like to go on a date as a psychic intuitive? It's crazy. It's normal, like normal dating. Some people have, a lot of people have different reactions. So this year's been the first year where like nobody seems to give a crap about it. But every now and then I get someone who is a widow or who has lost a family member or something, or who wants a reading, and I just won't do that because I don't need to prove my gifts to some guy that I just met. Like, I feel like that's silly. And I had one guy not date me because I said, if you're either my client or we date, like it's not both. And so we didn't date because he wanted to work with me. Isn't that funny? But my intuition's always right. So I was dating, I actually did a podcast on this one. There was this man who was always in my inbox asking me out constantly. And I kept telling him no. And he would drive me mad. Like, I was like, this guy, this is just not good. And he was super attractive, and, you know, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He's just very insistent. And I mean, he tried for months. Well, finally I agreed, and I was like, fine, these are the dates I'm available, pick one. And we went out, and I don't regret doing it, but it just reinforced that I already knew that he was going to be a pain in the ass, and that he had a lot of healing to do. And so it just reaffirms how accurate my intuition is. That's what it does. Denise, can you ask your question again, honey? What do you mean, do I read off energy? What is it? What do you mean by that, Richard? That's my dad's name, by the way. He must be around me because I keep getting all these Richards. Well, Carolyn and I reconcile. You know, I definitely think there will be an attempt, but I don't think in the end it's going to work out, Joey. Oh, okay, Denise. Yes, you're going to be okay. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Choose you every chance you can, and make the best of whatever situation you are in. But don't take what's happening in your life personal. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not being punished. Nothing like that. It's not personal, like meaning something, you know, it's happening because something, whatever. I can't talk today. But yes, you're going to be okay. Is Kenny just a lesson? Yes, Liz, we call those karmics. Similar thing happened to you. Isn't that funny? Oh, yes, Richard. Yeah, I usually know it the first time I meet them if it's going to go anywhere. Or if they're karmic. Like I said, we can talk on the phone and text, and it's interesting how different people are in real life. And then you go and meet them, and I always tell them too. I said, on the first date, I will know if this is going to go somewhere, or if you're not my person. And it's hard because I've met a lot of amazing men who are super nice, gentlemen, have their life together, you know, treat me good, but I know they're not my person. And some of them don't take that very well. A lot of them push back and continue to try to talk to me. But yeah, I can feel it immediately. And if it's karmic, there's been a few where I knew they were karmic, but I knew that there was something I could learn from them, or learn about myself, I should say, from them. And so I've entertained it for a little while. But what sticks in my mind always is the longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is. So I will entertain somebody until I'm like, okay, I see what I needed to see about myself, because relationships are mirrors. So they're going to show you something. So anytime I call a new person in, I'm like, okay, let's see what this person's going to show me. I also can really have a good sense of when they're lying to me. And almost every time I've been right. sometimes it's hard to validate, you know, because I don't have proof, but Patricia, he's very wounded. So like I heard them say, he's very wounded. He's healing. He's not, you're not a rehab though. So if it doesn't work for you, let him go. Maria, no. Morgan, no. I think it's a good idea for you to have a conversation with Jason today. Yvette, a lesson. It's a karmic. Cynthia, yes. Do you see a future for me and Jimmy? No. Yeah, you can ask. You can ask every day that I'm on. Thank you for asking that, though. I appreciate it. There's a whole bunch of comments getting filtered. Patricia, it doesn't matter how long you've been with somebody. If someone's if you think someone's manipulating you or is narcissistic, that's a very wounded person. And if that doesn't work for you, then I don't understand why you would want to stay and be with them. That's what I'm saying. He has a lot of healing to do. I'm sorry, Richard, that you miss your family. Will Fernando and I reconnect? Yes. Do I need to find a new job? You don't need to, but if you want to, you can. Richard, I feel like it's going to be next year, hun. And I did see your question about your family coming back. I mean, obviously I don't feel like the whole family, but I do feel like parts of your family will come back. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I read it. Dayana, that's an interesting name. I like it. Yes. Should I try to maintain a relationship with my dad? So that's not a yes or a no from the guide's perspective. It's a choice. Either way, it's up to you. I would say that if you do, you know, you just have to accept him for who he is and figure out what you can communicate about and what, you know, even if it's a surface level relationship, it might bring you peace just to have that. But it's literally, there's no right or wrong to that, hun. Hi, Jennifer. So if you're asking me how someone else feels or thinks or what someone else did, I don't have permission to access their information, and I won't do that. I could, but I'm not going to, because that's not an integrity. And even if I did look into them, I would be looking through your lens, so it would be tainted. And just a reminder, if I don't answer your question, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because I'm not getting a yes or a no. Amy, there's no, it was not a mistake. Good afternoon, Sheila. Is it over between Ronald and I? Yes. Will I get out of debt soon? I don't know what soon is for you, but I do see you getting out of debt. Oh, thank you for the eye compliment on my eyes. It's interesting. Normally green does not, because I have green eyes, normally green doesn't really do anything for them, which is weird to say, but I think it's just the white lighting outside from the clouds. Is my relationship with Matt over? Not entirely. Will I have my procedure in April? Yes. Have a great day to you too. I'm not ignoring your question. If I'm not answering it, it's because I don't hear a yes or a no. These are quick connects, so I just use my clairaudience. And if there's no answer, the guides claim, or the guides say that it's not important for you to know, it's not helpful for you to know right now, or there's undecided things still. Just a reminder, if you want a mini read where you can ask a question, and then I will also bring through whatever else the guides have for you, it is a minimum $15 donation. It's linked in my bio, my tip jar that has Cash App and Venmo there for you. If you do donate, please let me know where you donated and that you donated so that I can prioritize you. If you have never had a session with me and you'd like 60 minutes with me, you can go into my sessions. There's a first time client rate under the Quantum Soul sessions. It's about 60 to 70% off of my normal hourly rate. So that is something that I do as a thank you for first time clients. And then if you feel guided, there is a free digital course linked in my bio as well. It's called Heal. It is a course in radical forgiveness and self-love. It's a really good course. It was one of the original courses I made 7-8 years ago. not the first, but it's one of the first, but it still has amazing content, and I felt guided to make that available to anybody who needs it. So you just have to put your email address in and boom, you got lots of help. If you're really wanting to get a clue about your relationship patterns, work through limiting beliefs, trauma, that's a good place to start. Miriam, I don't know, I'm not doing medical, but because I heard something for you, I'll tell you. Yes, but I'm hearing you need to do something about your diet. So there needs to be a change in your diet. Is America my home, or should I return to the UK? I actually think you are going to return to the UK. I don't know if it's permanent, but I do think you're going to return to the UK. Laura, yeah, I see some potential there. So this person has asked this question 100 times. Will I be moving into the new unit from something April? I don't get an answer for you. So I'm not ignoring you. As I said, I just don't get a yes or a no. Will Eddie and I reconcile? No. You're welcome, Laura. Some of y'all questions are wild. Does me and my girlfriend have a future together? Yes. How long is not determined, but yes, you will have a good relationship. Hello, Melissa, welcome in. I didn't bring my chapstick over either. Dang it. Forgetting all the goodies. Chair just barely fits through there. Hi, Dragonfly. Hi, Caroline. Should I give Eric another chance, or did I make the right decision ending things? You made the right decision. Don't go backwards. Nico. No, he's not lying. I know. I'm sorry, hun. I hate giving bad news. Just remember, the longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is. So anytime I end a relationship, friendship, or romantic partnership, or I get rejected, or they ghost, or it doesn't work out, whatever the case is, right? Even the times when I'm like, oh, I really wanted that to work out. I just remind myself, that means that I'm one more person closer to finding my person. So it's hard and it hurts, but why would you want someone that doesn't want you, or isn't meant for you, or doesn't treat you well? Like, we have to remind ourselves of these things, that we should never have to beg or chase. And if you're confused, if they're not communicating, if they're not putting in the effort, they're not for you. They're not yours. Let them go. Let them go find their person so you can find yours. Jesse, probably not. Hi, Lady Saves the Day. Welcome in. Olivia, yes. No, and I don't resonate with twin flames. Anybody can be a twin flame. A twin flame is basically a karmic relationship. It's meant to teach us lessons. The true twin flame journey is about being coming into union with yourself. And that's what a lot of people misunderstand. And so a lot of times the people that we think are our twin flame, those are usually the most intense karmic relationships. And those are that way because they're designed to make you choose you and to stop choosing other people and the things that you can't see. It's never about two people coming into union. It's about you coming into union with yourself. Mary, will I get a promotion this year? Yes. Will Cycles and Cream call me at the end of the month or in April? I heard April. Thank you for the roses. Deborah, I have no idea, honey. Cindy, yes. Deborah, you can drop your question again, though, because I don't remember if I did or not. Oh, you did, okay. I don't know what you mean by your guy. Can you clarify? The more specific you can be with your question, the better, because these are quick connects. Does my husband really want to be with me, love me? Well, I can't really read him, but overall, yeah. I think you guys are just in a weird cycle at the moment. Communication, honey. Communication is everything. Yeah, you guys can just drop your question. It's just yes or no's, one per person. If I don't answer it, please don't post it a bunch of times. I don't hear a yes or no, I'm not going to answer it. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm not seeing your question. I just do not get an answer. Catherine, that's not really something that the guides decide for you. There's no right or wrong to that question. So this is the issue a lot of times people have with these types of questions is they want to use this as a way to make a decision because they're in inner conflict, right? So when you're asking what relationship questions, majority of the time it's because you have an inner conflict. And that's caused by contradictory beliefs. There's a part of you that knows that something isn't right, or that it's not working, or that it's not healthy, but then there's another part of you that might have worth issues or insecurities or some kind of weird belief that makes you stay or question or doubt yourself. So in questions like that, we're struggling with dishonesty, is it worth fighting for? That's only a question you can answer. We can't answer that for you. That's up to you. but rebuilding trust and having that real, transparent, honest, good quality communication is something that just seems to be lost today. Like, nobody wants to sit down and have conversations. They'd rather go to a medium or a psychic and say, is he cheating? Or does he love me? Or it's like, if you can't have these conversations with this person, we have a bigger issue here, you know? So I'm sorry that that's happening for you, but it's really up to you, hun, if that's something that you want to do. Should I move on from Delvin? I like that name. Yes. Your dad is always with you, honey. I know I miss my dad too. Deborah, I think Roger is the one for right now. I don't know if it's a lifetime, but I think there's something that you guys can learn from each other. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Good afternoon to you as well. Why do people try to co-host? I don't understand that. I answered you, Deborah. Did you get it? I'm behind on these comments. Oh, thank you for that, Tasha. Thank you very much. The gifts are awesome. I appreciate them very much. Cora, will I get a job soon? It feels about 2 months-ish, somewhere within 2 months. Could be sooner, but first thing I heard was 2 months. Paige, will I see Jose this weekend? Yes. Will Lionel and me have a successful relationship? Well, it depends on your definition of success, but I do see you in a relationship. You're very welcome, Deborah. Sandy, will we be able to move anytime soon? Yes. Will I reconcile with Rob? No. Yes, of course. Well, so that's a whole nother conversation, but there really is no heaven or hell. I know that a lot of people are going to give me slack for that, but there really isn't. Those are states of being. They're not places. But he did cross over. Your dad did cross over, and he is happy and healthy. Vanessa, will I be happy in retirement? Yes, but I'm going to tell you right now, get a hobby. Get a hobby or something that you enjoy doing. And I also feel like you're going to be traveling. What was kind of shady? What are you talking about? Kim. No, honey. Believe patterns, not words. Will Bill and I have a good future? Yes. Jade, I don't get a yes or a no on that one, honey. I'm sorry. Will David come back? No. Will love come my way? Yes, and for whatever reason, I think you're going to meet on a beach or there's a beach involved. As soon as you said that, I saw a beach. Will we buy more land in the future? Yeah, actually, I feel like probably next year. Betty, no. I see all the questions. If I don't answer it, it's because I don't get a yes or a no, and I'm not going to make up an answer. Sometimes it's not in your benefit to know the answer. Please make sure you're only asking one yes or no question. It's kind of hard for me to track that, but sometimes I remember the handles, so I'm not going to answer a second one. Will I be able to get a mortgage? Yeah, I think next year is going to be your best bet. Will my first visit next week with my long distance girlfriend go well? Yes. Kim, no. Am I on the right path for my highest good? Yes. Hi, by the way. Peace. Does Christopher regret leaving me and our son to go start another family with whoever that person's name is? I don't have permission to tap into him to answer that, but I just want to say that I'm sorry that happened to you, and you're better off. I know it probably doesn't seem that way, but it doesn't matter if he regrets it or not. If a snake bites you, you don't chase after the snake to ask why you bit me, or do you regret biting me? You just heal the wound. Heal your wounds, honey. It doesn't matter what he regrets. It's not going to change anything. Will me and Michelle rekindle? No. I'm so happy that you found somebody. I've been watching your videos. You got the job and the house. Yeah. That's amazing, Zoe. Amazing. Greg, will Donna and I reconcile soon? No. Linda, yes. If I'm not answering you, it's because I don't get a clear yes or no. And again, the guides say that that's because it's not, sometimes it's detrimental to you to know your future. Because then you're going to make different choices. In order to get the future that you want, sometimes you have to stay, you have to make the decisions that you need to make, right? So oftentimes what happens is people find out their future and then they make different decisions. And then that future is no, now that future that I said you were going to have doesn't exist because you made different decisions, which means you chose a different timeline. Each decision we make connects us to a different timeline, a different version of ourselves, a different version of our reality. We're changing timelines and versions of ourselves billions of times a day. So they're oftentimes super subtle and nobody ever really notices. And other days you wake up and you're like, damn, I feel like a totally different person. And you feel that hangover of making such a huge quantum jump. So if I'm not answering you, there's a reason for that. Holly, no. Jill, no. Will, no. Da, 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 da. Just a reminder for anybody who's new that's popping on, if you want to ask your guides a question and then see what else comes through, that is a minimum $15 donation through Cash App or Venmo. It's all linked in my bio in the tip jar. Just let me know if and when you've donated and I can prioritize your read. If you want 60 minutes with me and you've never had a session, there is a first-time client rate that is about 65-70% off of my normal hourly rate. That's under Quantum Soul Sessions, linked in my bio as well. And then I also have a free course called Heal, a course in radical forgiveness and self-love. It's completely free. It's linked in my bio as well if you're somebody that could benefit from healing relationship patterns and trauma and things like that in your life and really work on forgiveness and self-love. And I also have 2 private mentorship spots open. So all 3 that I signed in January actually were from people on TikTok. So I think that that's awesome. Charlotte, yes. Will Steve reconnect with me? No. Shelly, will T and I reconcile? I feel like you guys are going to talk, but I don't see it coming back to a full reconciliation, no. Christine, will Robin reach out to reconnect? Yes. Hi. You're welcome. Very welcome. Will Keith and I reconnect soon? No, ma'am. Oh, cool. I'm glad you found me on the For You page. Will Brandon contact me to reconnect in a relationship? No. Will Dominique follow through with the divorce? Yes. Liz, yes, ma'am. It may not always seem like it's working out, but it is always going to be working out. And I think you'll be better off that way. Will Chris and I reconcile? You know, I actually think you might. I heard yes, so that's cool for you. Jennifer, I don't have permission to read his energy, so I don't answer those kind of questions, love. You can ask a different question if you want. Will I hear from Justin? Yes. Will I get a job in April? I actually feel like it might be May. Could be end of April, but I feel like it's probably more May. Will I find my wedding band? I don't get a clear yes or no on that. Do I feel like it's in a mundane place, like a place you wouldn't expect it to be? I don't know if that helps you. I've never been really great on finding things. It's weird how your gifts work. Like some people, some psychic mediums are really good at finding things. Like Sylvia Brown, she used to help the police department find like bodies and missing people. Every now and then I'll get information, but for the most part, I don't know why. It's just weird. And I've talked to other mediums about it, and you know, it's just we all have our little things that are easy for us. And that one is not for me. I don't know. It just never works. Will I be in a relationship this year? Yeah. End of summer, early fallish? Yeah. Isn't that the case? I swear. I think I stuck it somewhere I'd remember. I'm telling you, that's why I said it's like, it's always in those places. And then you never remember. Will I get my own place by May? Yes. And sometimes I find something and I'm like, I swear to God, I looked in this place like 10 times and didn't see it. Sometimes it's just right in front of your face. Tony, will Sherry and I move in together? Yes. Well, if you got hope, that's a good start. Don't give up. You know what? Try this. I don't know why, but this is what's showing up. Before you go to sleep, ask to have a dream about where your ring is and just see what happens. And then come back and tell me. Please come back and tell me what happened. The safe place, yeah. Something we always think is a safe place. It's rarely a safe place. Ashley, will I hear from Lindsay anytime soon? No, honey. Will I be in a new relationship this year? I mean, you might date a little, but I feel like next year is when you'll be in a decent relationship. You know, if you have a lot of fairies around you, fairies love to hide shit. They think it's hilarious. They like to hide shit. They like to move shit. So sometimes fairies are the problem. Fairies have egos. They like to have a good time. Kelly, yes. It's going to happen slowly, Kelly, though. It's not going to be, but you will see movement that way. Will I be moving in May? No. Nicole. No, honey. Ashley, I don't get a yes or a no on that, honey. That would require me to tap into that person's energy. Yes, it's even safe against us. Mary, no. You do that, you ask for it in the dream, and then you see it. That's awesome. My dad used to have when he would have problems at work, his boss would tell him to go home and dream a solution, and he literally would. My dad was so clairvoyant, he didn't even really know what he was doing. Honey, I already answered your question about the cycles in cream. Yes. Angelica, I feel like you'll meet many men. I don't think any of them are going to be worth anything, though. Will Amber and I get back together? No. Was the love between Angie and I real? Of course. There's different types of love, though. Will Amber and I get back together? No. Isn't it? There's so much you can learn just by just hanging out on a live sometimes, especially when these. I get a lot of people who get afraid to ask questions or maybe don't even have the money to do a reading, and then they'll listen to someone else's reading and it'll answer their question. We call that a piggyback. And then sometimes people get on here and they ask some really good questions about, you know, the universe, energy development, spiritual development, you know, just random things that people want to know, and I'll answer it. And I get people on here all the time that do that. And that's the reason why I started posting the TikTok lives on YouTube, though I'm a couple of days behind, is because that way people could go back and listen, because it was I lost track of my thought, because it had good information in it. Okay, we got a Venmo that came in. Oh, my leg fell asleep. Where's my pen? Oh God, I hope I don't butcher your name. Is it Yanni? Yanni or Yanni? One or two. Either way, there you are. So it's Yanni. Okay, you can go ahead and drop your question, love. We're going to prioritize her real fast. If you guys want to hold off on your free yes or no's until I'm done with this paid read, just drop your question and then I'll see what else comes through besides your question. hair is so dry. I need to get it cut. I just quit my job and just want to know if it was the right move. Okay. You got it, girlfriend. Ooh. Okay. Yes, you made the right move. Are you a writer or wanting to write a book? Do you write a blog? I keep hearing write. Like, and your throat chakra is like bulging, like you have something that needs to be said. And so I feel like these two are connected, right? So I don't know if you're if you are planning to write something or if you can feel that in your throat, but they're wanting you to write. I do sense some fear in you around this decision that you made and if you're going to be okay. And the answer is that you will be okay. It's a matter of you continuing to have that trust and faith that allowed you to walk away from something that was no longer serving you. So if you can just stay present and stay in the moment and keep asking your team, right, your guides, your higher self, to place the next step and opportunity in front of you, it will start to be like a breadcrumb trail. This is what we call following the flow of synchronicity. And the breadcrumb trail will be, there's another random damn ass dog. I don't know why these people don't put their dogs up. Sorry, squirreled off there. The opportunities or the things that will be placed in front of you, you'll know that that's what's for you because you will get excited, and you'll probably even have a little bit of fear. So it'll be exciting, but there'll also be fear. And those are the things that's how you know that is the next thing for you. And you may not always understand each piece on its own, but together they will start to make more sense. So just stay super present. Don't allow the fear stories to control you or get in your way or stop you. The ego's job is to keep you alive. So it goes through the algorithm of the past and says, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. But it doesn't want to do that. The ego does not want to do that. It's programmed to keep you alive. So your only job is to go, I don't believe you. I'm going to do what I feel guided to do and not listen to the story in your mind. You want to start a podcast? Well, I think that would be great. That's also for the throat chakra. But I feel like there's something you're meant to write. Just sit with that for a bit. You may not feel it right now, but I bet you down the line, you end up writing something because I keep hearing write. But don't allow any of that fear to come in. And when you're doing your podcast, like, have the most fun with it. Don't take it super serious. I mean, you can take it serious as in, it's something you're passionate about, but have fun with it. Be authentic. Let things be messy. I don't know if you're someone that feels like they need to control or everything needs to be perfect, but regardless, let it be fun. Let it be messy. Let it, just allow it to be a fun experience. That's what's going to make it wildly successful, is you having fun with it. Okay? But I feel like you have a lot to say. So podcast is great, but I'm telling you, you're meant to write something. Do you have any questions about anything that we've said so far? Okay, I have to tell you, I've written 3 books and I was a co-author in a 4th. I am dyslexic. I can't spell worth a shit. I have terrible grammar, but I can write a book. I wrote several of them. So it's always the people that you don't think that are going to write that end up being the writers. It's just about getting that information onto the page. So just start with journaling, journal, whatever needs to come out, just write it out. But I have a feeling you're going to end up writing something. And again, I don't know if it's a book, if it's a blog, if it's an article, but I feel like you will be writing. Did you already set up your podcast? Oh, thank you. I love my decor too. But do you have any questions about anything that we've said? Trust, trust, trust. Keep following that flow. Oh, okay. You just quit your job today? Congratulations. Good job. I love it. Thank you for the gifts. I want you to go out and celebrate today, Yanni. Go out and celebrate. Celebrate the fact that you chose that you chose your path, your love. Go out and celebrate that. But I hope that helps. Right. It's scary and exciting, right? So I want you to hold on to that feeling. It's scary and exciting all at the same time. That's when you know you're making the choices that are in your highest alignment, right? And don't get me wrong, every choice you make is the right path because that's where you need to be at that time. But certain choices get you places faster, right? And instead of going around and around and around. And so you made the right choice for you. And it is scary, but again, you have to keep coming back to trust and faith. Trust and faith. But thank you for trusting me with your energy, my love. I wish you all of the best. You're so welcome. Waiting on a job offer. Will I get it? Yes. Will my next relationship be someone I already know? No. The fairies are messing with you. Hey, Julie. Fairies love to mess with people. That's why I always tell people, if you know you have fairies around you, create a fairy garden if you can. And it's fun because you can like create a space, like put a little offering bowl and you put stuff in there sometimes and watch it disappear. And sometimes you'll find stuff in there. It's fun. I've been seeing things about fairies today and I haven't heard about them in a while. The fairies are all around us right now because they keep coming up. Heather, you guys are done. I have a Lego tree house I offered and gave honey. That's so cool. Love it. If I'm not answering your question, please know I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not getting a clear yes or no. And I'm not going to make up an answer. I use my clairaudience for these quick connects. So sometimes I don't hear anything, and that means it's most likely not, it's not going to benefit you to know ahead of time. Christine, yes. Will I get the job in Charlotte? No. There's a better one coming for you. Oh, shoot. Where did it go? Will I get a high-paying job? You're going to get a better-paying job. I don't know if you would consider it to be high-paying. Is it because of the shift we've had that they are more prominent, or is there something that has? Not necessarily. I mean, you gotta remember that fairies are in their own frequency. They have, and there's different, right? So we have fairies at every dimension. So just the way we have 12th dimensional beings like the Mantis Collective, we have 12th dimensional fairies. We have 4th dimensional fairies, 5th dimensional fairies. So it doesn't really matter what dimension we move into, what frequency we move into, there's always going to be fairies. Oh, thank you. Is my finances going to improve soon? Yes. Brittany, yes. Kelsey, yes. Yeah, so the way that works is, what is your username? Krabby 402, I think. I can't, or 4U2. I don't know. Anyway, now that Earth has moved into a 5th dimensional frequency, and more of us in December moved into that frequency too, into the new Earth frequencies, it's easier for us to sense them. This is why we will soon have open contact. This is why there's more ships being seen. This is why there's more discoveries, like with the pyramids. There's all these things are like newly discovered. It's because now we can see them. Now a lot of us have moved into that higher frequency where it's easier for us to see things and hold the space for things than we could before. So this is why we're going to go through mass awakenings and mass exoduses, and there's just, this year is going to be a wild ride. Oh, Christine. Okay. I probably won't remember that, but thank you. Will the conversation with Tom on Monday go well? I feel like it will be received well, so I would say yes. Will everything be okay after Thursday's meeting? It'll be better. I just hear it will be better. Yeah, so when we move into a higher frequency, we're able to see more and it not be so devastating to the system, right? So there's still plenty of people who haven't moved into the new frequencies. And that's their choice, right? Everybody's right where they're supposed to be. And when we start having open contact and more of these things, it's going to be hard for some people, but majority of us, it's not a big deal. Ooh, excuse me. I wonder if all the oil came out of my hair. I'm good. How are you? Will I connect with someone romantically this weekend? No. Thank you. Jillian, I don't get a yes or no, hun. I'm only doing one free yes or no. If you have a question that you want from your guides that is more than a yes or no, like if you need an answer, those are paid mini reads. And I could probably do one more. I'm going to be getting off soon so I can go blow dry my hair and have some lunch. I just wanted to come on for a little while because I haven't been live as much as I wanted to be this week. I've had so much going on. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow for a little bit too, but I can't make any promises. But I'll be back regularly. Oh, Liz, I guarantee you he did. Usually the things that you're obsessed with have a lot to do with your other lives, right? So all of our lives are happening simultaneously. There's not really a past or future life. And sometimes we can sense those other lives, and those things can, like, I'm sure there's many lives he has where he's obsessed with something like that. Julie, yes. Will I be in a romantic relationship this year? Yes. Probably around fall time. Sheila, no. So, does Coda still think of me? Again, these questions I'm not going to answer, because if you're asking me how someone else feels or thinks, that would require me to tap into their energy without their permission, and that's just not something that I'm going to do. That's not an integrity. So you can try asking a different question if you'd like. Am I going to get married? Yes. Like, so you think about it. Think about things like this. Like, even from a small age of a kid, I was always obsessed with aliens. Well, I'm a starseed. I didn't know that until later on in life. But it's easier for me to channel galactic and interdimensional energy than it is for me to channel someone else's loved one. There's different frequencies, yes. I was always obsessed with Sylvia Brown and psychic mediums, and I never knew why, right? And here I am. My sister-in-law, I know a couple of people who are obsessed with fairies. Well, that's the main energy, right? The majority of their energy is fairy. Where me, I am, most of my energy is Andromedan. So you can see so much about yourself and understand yourself just when you look at the things that you enjoy and like. Danny, no. Will T and I ever be more Will T and I ever be more than friends? No. Yes, you can have a combination. So you're never just one thing, right? I've been a Pleiadian, I've been an Andromedan, I've been part of the Ancient Collective. I have 12th dimensional fairy energy as well. We're never just one thing, but when we call it our lineage, we're gonna have one that is like, it's hard for my brain to even explain this. But there's gonna be one that's like the seed or the thing that you've done most maybe. And for me, that's the Andromedan. But yeah, you can be a lot of things. More dominant, yeah, that's a better word. Will I get my previous position at work back? No. I feel like there's a different opportunity coming for you. Any tips on increasing intuition? Yes, be present. Be present. So when you ask yourself a question, what's the very first thing you get? It's going to be soft, loving, subtle. It does not come in a complete sentence. Spirit rarely ever talks in complete sentences. They talk in riddles. I call it breadcrumb trails. So what will happen is you'll hear something, and then right after that, the ego will come in to second guess it or to doubt it. So your very best thing is the very first thing you get that you feel is neutral or loving, follow that. If it doesn't make sense, even better, follow that. But if anything is loud, super repetitive, like comes from a space of fear or anxiety, that is never intuition. So when you're learning to follow your intuition, you're listening to the subtle body. And in order to hear the subtle body or to feel or sense the subtle body, you've got to be present. I have a course called the Energy Matrix. It's a massive course. But when I was teaching this, how we started is with the foundations. And I'm going to tell you this. Don't try to open up your gifts, meaning your clairsense abilities, whether it's clairvoyant, clairaudient, whatever. Don't try to force them open until you learn energetic boundaries and discernment. So you got to learn where you end and someone else begins. And you have to learn to discern the energy. And that means what something means to you. So you have to really start this process. This is the foundation that most spiritual teachers out there are missing. They're just teaching people how to open their gifts and connect. But if that person has a lot of fear, or if that person has trouble discerning energy or being able to tell it use energetic boundaries, then you're having them open up in frequencies that are only going to call in things that aren't going to be helpful to them, right? Or might even scare them. And so I always start there. So I teach self-awareness, presence, and how to read and discern energy. And then I move through the second phase, which is really clearing a lot of your deep fears and programs. And then I teach channeling. I teach you how to read your own Akashic record, how to channel frequencies for healing, how to different types of ways to connect for mediumship. Because everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. This is not, it is a special gift, but everybody has the ability. And so I will preach from the top of the mountain as loud as I go, like, go find your spiritual teacher that you want to help open you up or to strengthen your gifts, but make sure they're teaching boundaries, energetic boundaries, discerning energy. These are fundamental things that will sharpen your intuition, sharpen your ability to read. Should I start the spa business this year? Yes. Is it going to have some type of healing component to it? Like if not, I would consider that, because it's becoming something that is, sorry, I got distracted. I feel like That is going to be such a prominent thing over the next few years, so make sure you include something into that. Julie, am I on the right path choosing insurance versus electrical? The right path is going to be the one that makes you feel the most excited and the most happy. Either one of those is going to take you in a different, not a different direction, but you're going to end up in the same space. It's just going to have a different experience. Will I get my house soon? Yes. Yeah, the colors do have meaning. Everybody's dictionary is different. But you can also look up color theory, or you can look up spiritual meaning behind colors and see if that resonates for you. Usually people who see colors will start to see auric fields. And I can see auras, but I only see auras when I need to see it. It means it's telling me something that I need to convey to the client. So that's the only time I personally see auras. But usually people who see color see auras. And spirits can come in the form of colors. So a lot of people think orbs are like loved ones and stuff. Generally, that's not what they are. Orbs are just intelligent information, and they're coming in to collect data. So orbs are not always loved ones. They can be at times, but they're not always. But sometimes galactic beings for me will come in. I won't see them in apparition form all the time. I will see them more in just a color. So everybody's different in how they read energy, and so I can't tell you specifically what you're seeing, but yes, it does mean something. Good evening. Well, remember guys, I offer mentorship too. So if you're wanting to work on opening your gifts, or working on boundaries, or you just have a healing journey, or whatever it is, go check out my private mentorship page, and you can book once you see how much it costs and what it entails. If it's something that you're curious about, book a free call with me, and we can have a quick discussion, and I can see if what it is that you're working on or wanting to work through or work on is something that I can do, number one. And number two, see if we're a good fit for each other. You're very welcome. If I'm not answering your question, I am not getting a yes or a no. So please don't ask the question a bunch of times. Thank you. Will B give our relationship another chance? Yes. I think it needs to just end though. I think that would be a better option for you guys. Will I get the house I put an offer on? Yes. Okay, will communication come in from Sani, please? I don't get a yes or no. I don't know what else to tell you, hon. Maria, I have no idea what your question is. I don't understand. Jacqueline, no. All right, so this is going to be a last call for paid mini reads. If you have a question you'd like your guides to answer and see what else comes through, now is your time. Please donate and let me know that you're donating. Let me know that you're about to, that you're going to donate, so that I don't jump off the live. And just a reminder, if you have never had a session with me and you'd like 60 minutes, I do offer a first-time client rate. I have lots of different services, so if you're a repeat client, amazing. But if you've never had a session with me, I do have a first-time client rate that's under my sessions. I brought that back. That was a big hit with you guys last year. And then there's a free course in my bio called Heal. It's a course in radical forgiveness and self-love. It really helps you to look at your war stories, see the patterns in your life, and do some healing. So I've made that available at no cost. So that's up there too. Will I ever travel? Yes. Tony, am I overthinking things between me and Jay? Yes. If you're asking me how what someone else is thinking or feeling, I don't answer those. I don't have permission to read them. Okay, do we have any takers on the paid reads on my last call? If you're thinking about, if you're going to donate, let me know so I don't cut off the live. Marsha, I think that's it. Will the property in Connecticut sell soon? I think your best bet's gonna be next year. I know that seems a long ways away. Will Janet and I reconnect? Yes. Mary, I don't get an answer for you, babe. I'm sorry. Will I get disability? Yes. I mean, if you drop the price, but I feel like you can get whatever you're asking for it. So that's why I'm saying I feel like there's a way you could probably sell it sooner if you're just trying to get rid of it. Ariana, no. You're better off, just move on, sweetie. Hello. All right, my loves, we're going to call it a day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will put this live up on my TikTok playlist on YouTube. So if you follow me on YouTube, you'll see I put the TikTok lives. I put the date of the live on there. So if you got a reading or there was something I said that you want to go back and re-listen to, know that you can. I also have a ton of good content over there. I may go live. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow for a little while. So you can look for me. I can't promise you I'm going to show up, but I'm going to try to go live for at least an hour, maybe two tomorrow before I go. I have a big music festival that I'm going to go to. But if not, I'll be back on here on Monday, okay? So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Please take care of yourselves with this eclipse energy. And sending you guys all a ton of love. I will see you next time.